Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and here I'm ready to finally take a look at Axton's legendary Pointman Classmod. And this class mod allows Axton to become a tank. It's going to give him his best health score. If you can see in the bottom left corner of the screen, I have 12 million health here. And this is because of a Rough Rider, Pointman Classmod, and the Blood of the Ancients. So this is some of the highest health I can get with Axton. It might be a little higher if I could get a blue rarity Pointman Classmod with 6 points and healthy, but for this I would strongly prefer to use a legendary Pointman. So I'll go ahead and put a timestamp in the description for when the gameplay starts, because you may want to skip to that, because I'll probably be talking about this class mod for maybe 10 minutes. So previously I've looked at the Ranger and Engineer class mod on my YouTube channel, and the reason I want to cover these legendary class mods is because a lot of people say Axton's got a waste of legendary class mods outside the Soldier. The other ones kind of suck. I was able to test the Ranger and the Engineer, and I was able to do a lot of damage with both of them, and they were both really fun to use. They both have a good combination of damage and survivability, kind of like how the Soldier does. So now I'm ready to look at the Pointman class mod, which is people's least favorite class mod, and it doesn't do any damage for the most part. It can give you a little more damage and pressure and last ditch effort, but these are more defensive skills in my perception. Um, so the coolest things I want to talk about with this is how you can have a much higher health bar, and that can be really fun because it allows you to take more damage before going down, and also how having a higher health bar is going to affect the usage of Able, because it's going to make a huge difference here. So if I were to throw on just a regular, I'll say a soldier class mod, the bone, and regular shield, but it doesn't really matter. You can see my health bar is down to 2.3 million. And that's because I've got 10 extra points. I've got 5 extra points from the soldier class mod and healthy, so it's actually a decently large health bar. The base health bar is about 1.4 million, and here it's about 2.3 million. And then as you've seen when I was using all of my Pointman gear, my health bar went all the way up to 12 million. And so what that means is that because Able is a skill that heals a percentage of your health, you have a much higher health bar. It's going to heal a significantly larger amount of health. So if you have 2 million, let's say, health with the soldier comm, and you have 5 points in here, that's going to give you 2% of your max health per second. That would give you about 40,000 health per second. And this happens anytime you damage an enemy with a gun or a grenade or anything other than your turret. So you only have 40,000 there, whereas when I threw on all my gear and I have up to 12 million health, and now I have 4% of that instead of 2%, that number goes from 40,000 up to 480,000. And so this becomes more, it becomes a much better skill, whereas with the soldier comm, a lot of times I don't even get Able. I do like it, but I would say it's just an okay that makes a small contribution to Axton's overall survivability. But when I use it with a Pointman class mod like this, it becomes a serious powerhouse, and it's actually pretty much my only source of reliable healing. I can heal with grit, but I don't use it for healing because it's only a random chance. And then there's also another 40,000 right here, 38. I'll round up to 40,000 for health regen per second, and so that would bring it up to another, up to I think above 500,000 health per second, which is really high because your base health at level 80 is 1.4 million, and so you're hitting above 1/3 of that per second. And when you can see when I'm healing, it actually looks kind of slow when I have Able, which I don't have Able right now, but it looks like it heals kind of slow, but that's because there's just so much max health that it takes a while to do that. So I'll show that off in a little bit. So now I'm going to talk about how this will compare with other characters, because some other characters have overall better Rough Rider synergy than Axton does. So firstly, Maya. I've seen people play Maya using the legendary Siren class mod, and they were able to use a Rough Rider. And so that means they're having a class mod that does a lot of damage, and they're able to manage having a Rough Rider, which is pretty impressive. I've tried this multiple times with Axton, and I always just die the whole time, and I'd much rather just use a shield. with a shield capacity. And this definitely could be a skill issue, but at the same time, I do think that he doesn't have the best synergy with the Rough Rider if you aren't using the Pointman Classmod, which would be fun. And I think the big reason for this is because Maya is better at healing, I would say. She's got her Harmony tree, and she's got like maybe 3+ different ways of healing. You can heal getting singularities off phase locked enemies, I believe. When she kills a phase locked enemy, she gets a big health orb that can go to her and her teammates. And she has a healing skill called Sustenance, which I think she always gets health regeneration, and health regeneration gets stronger the lower her health is. And I think if she's using the legendary Nurse Classmod, when she gets to really low health, I think she can get up to 4% max health per second, which is what Axton gets with the Able. Um, so I would consider her a little better off in healing, and I've played Maya a lot, and I can tell it's really easy with her. She almost never needs to use a Grog nozzle, even if she's on a tough level, which is really cool. So where Axton would become better with Maya, what he has as his own advantage is his healthy skill gives him more max health than Maya's restoration skill. I think restoration is what it's called. Whereas Axton has 6% max health per stack for 60% for 10 stacks. Maya's skill, which I think is called restoration, she only gets half of that, so she gets 3% max health per stack. And when she has 10 stacks, which she can only really get that with I think a legendary nurse class mod, not with the siren. Her health gets 30% for 10 stacks of that, and I don't see any other skills that she has that's going to boost her max health. So Action's going to have a much bigger max health. He gets a little extra health from Forbearance and Ranger if you decide to use those. I always use Forbearance. And on top of that, his legendary Pointman Classmod also gives him 1.2 million health. In addition to the health regeneration, whereas Maya's Nurse Classmod doesn't get a higher max health with it, but she does get the health regeneration. So Action's got probably, I would say, between his Pointman Classmod and healthy, he's probably got a few million extra health than Maya. So yeah, he gets a bigger health bar, so it takes longer. When he is healed up, it takes longer for enemies to bring him down to dying, which is pretty awesome. And another character I'll compare him to here is Krieg. Krieg has some insanely high healing skills, such as Thrill of the Kill, I'm pretty sure it's called. Where if he throws like a fastball or something that does a lot of damage, like a shotgun, he can get all of his health back, which could be up to like 10 million. He can get it back pretty much instantly. And he also has elemental empathy, which is he heals back a percentage of his damage over time he does to other enemies, and that can heal him really fast as well. So he does have better healing. He has stronger healing, very extreme levels of healing, and he can use a Rough Rider with pretty much any build. Um, Whereas Axton's Able skill does less healing, but it's a little bit easier to use because it's not based on how much damage you're doing to the enemy. You can do any amount of damage, and it'll heal the exact same amount. And also, it's not a kill skill either, whereas his Thrill of the Kill is a kill skill that does the crazy high killing. And it makes it easier that it's not a kill skill because you can use it literally at any time. So yeah, generally I would say Krieg is better at healing and using the Rough Rider, but Axton does have this very good reliability with this. So now I'm going to go over the gear pretty briefly. I'm going to switch my slag weapon. I'm going to try a Pimpernel. So ordinarily, I would just say to use a Bone of the Ancients with this because you get the extra damage and cooldown rate, which neither of those you're going to be getting from the class mod. So I would say to use a Bone of the Ancients, but I actually tested that and the Blood of the Ancients, and I do prefer using the Blood of the Ancients. It gives you an extra 3 million health, because if I take this off, it goes from 12 million down to 9 million. And so I really like having that extra health. It makes my skills work a lot better. And the extra ammo that I'm going to get here, which I'm going to switch for the one that I actually use. SMG ammo and shotgun ammo, so I'm going to be using a Plasma Caster Tediore for the reloads. It's got a lot of ammo in a magazine. I'll be able to do a lot of damage. I'll have a lot of reloads available to me. Also, if you can see, I have all three skills here for Axton that give him grenade damage, so that's awesome that I was able to get that and all the healing stuff. And I have pressure here, so when I'm in Fight for Your Life or have really low health, I'll be able to whip out a lot of Plasma Casters. And I'm also using Interfacer, which is also very ammo hungry. And so that'll work really well with the Blood of the Ancients. And with the Interfacer, you don't really need a class mod and relic in order for it to do a lot of damage. And the same exact thing is true for the Becca, which I'm using. Even though I don't have, like, I don't know, an assault rifle relic and a assault rifle class mod, it's still going to do really high damage either way. And so I would typically recommend using strong weapons with this build. I could swap out the Becca for a peak opener. I could also swap it out for maybe a Lyuda to get some of that really high damage. And I'm not sure what else I could swap it out for, but those are things that I would recommend. I just prefer using the Becca here. Also, when I was fighting against bandit enemies with the same build, instead of a Becca, I was using a Jacob sniper. Try to find it. I don't have a good angle on this stuff. I was using this Jacob sniper. I think it's called the Diob. Because with the bandit enemies like the Marauders, they kind of shift left and right, and I find it really hard to critical hit them using the Becca, so I use a sniper here, and it actually worked really well for me, because these also have a lot of damage. And so another cool thing I noticed when playing with this is damage over time is not something that kills you anymore, because of the skill Able, it heals such a huge amount of health that if you were to fight an enemy and you got damage over time, you need to get behind cover. The damage over time that is lingering is just not a problem. It's not going to kill you like it normally would. Axton's pretty okay with damage over time because you can use Forbearance outside of using the Pointman Classmod, but oftentimes the Axton, you know, if you get damage over time, going behind cover and waiting for that damage over time to subside is not something that's going to save your life. Whereas with this, it's pretty awesome. I noticed that damage over time doesn't kill you, especially with Zero. If you're playing Zero, especially melee Zero, you get one piece of damage over time and it's like your automatic death sentence. So I'm going to do some gameplay in a little bit, and you'll be able to see that with my huge health bar, it does take a very long time for the enemies to kill me. And when my health gets too low, I need to use the skill Able to heal. So I'll shoot a couple times, and it'll have a steady rate of healing me back up. It's not crazy fast, kind of like I mentioned, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and throw off all of my health stuff. So now I'm just going to heal up to show you how long it'll take. So I got low health, trying to heal up. It's not active right now, but there, you can see. Missed him. I'm healing up a bit faster now. And of course the rate doesn't look insanely fast, but it is healing a lot of health. Right there, I've already got almost 1 million.
Here you go.
Alright, so now I'm going to do some gameplay here at the Friendship Gulag level. I like this level a lot. I'm going to deal with a lot of damage over time, enemies like Warloaders and Ultimate Badass Loaders, and I'm also going to have to take out those really strong enemies. And so I'll show what I do with this build. And I've tested it, it actually works really well here. Be right back. Alright, what's up people? Now for the gameplay.
Sentry gun prime. Thank you. Success. off the house. Meet my lady friend. Ooh. Courage, what would I do without you? Oh, why didn't they give me take this? Throwing masher! Autogun deployed! Well, hello there, Loot.
Holy shit. Oh no, okay, I thought that was TDR for a second. Sorry for the language. I thought that was TDR. I was about to swap it for this one. But yeah, it's a pretty cool drop, I guess.
Here you go.
So this is going really good so far. I'm clearly not using any like Moxie weapon, and I'm still getting shot a lot. But because of the damage over time not killing me, it's kind of easy here. So I'm gonna try to play a little bit more dangerously and see if I can survive at a lower health. See what I can put up with.
Hurry out!
Well, currently my turrets are doing an amazing job of stopping the enemies from shooting me, so it's kind of hard to show. Yeah, that guy can still nearly one-shot me.
Did you miss? Want to meet my girlfriend?
Yeah, the Becca is just such an amazing weapon, even with no class mod. I could really give it a shot using the Rifleman class mod because it would just be that much better. Also with Zero, I really like it. Zero can take down some pretty big enemies with it. Like, I think Dukino's mom, you can use the Becca and it just destroys her.
That was cool.
Shoot. Oh, I got great movement speed right now. That's awesome.
That's right. Toss a grenade. Say hello, darling. Atta girl. Auto guns chewing them up.
See, I'm just gonna go around and see if I miss any enemies, and then I will finish off here.
Yeah.
I think that's it here, so. A little more, looks like.
Auto gun deployed.
Okay, so as you can see, using strong weapons here, I was still able to kill the enemies pretty well. And there was definitely moments there where I was able to take a lot of damage. So this is really impressive, impressive build here. Going forward, I pretty much wrapped up the legendary class mods videos, and so I probably won't make a soldier class mod video, but maybe I will down the road. And I also want to work on some of Axton's non-unique class mods. Like I've already done videos on the auto gunner, but there's some other stuff like the tactician I haven't really talked about, which is good for shields. The heavy shock trooper, which is awesome because it has all of the kill skills that you can have at the same time. And this would be really cool to do this with a Krieg because Krieg can extend the kill skill duration by 99%. And so if you worked with a Krieg with this, then you get long kill skills. Awesome. And then there's another one called, I think it's called Hazard Specialist, where Axton can have extra points into Forbearance. I've seen her try that. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video.